everybody, and welcome to Everyday Manna, and Merry, Merry Christmas. Today on this program, we are going to make a Christmas breakfast. Now, of course, you could serve this any day of the year, but you know, Christmas morning is typically a more laid-back, relaxed time, and I think it's wonderful to have a good breakfast ready, a good spread of breakfast, different breakfast ideas for you all, whoever you're celebrating with, to enjoy. And so today we're going to make 3 different breakfast ideas. We're going to get started with a streusel cake. This is more of a, you know, sometimes I like that cinnamon streusel cake type product for breakfast. So we're going to get started on that. Now, I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I have here, let me move my stuff there. I've got some brown sugar. I'm using light brown, but you can use dark brown or light brown. Let me chop these up. Now, I've got about a cup of pecans that I'm going to crush. You can use a meat mallet, anything you want to. This is a great job, again, for the little ones to do. If you've got little ones in your house, it lets them be a part. And I want it kind of fine. I don't want it to be a flour, but you know, you want it to be kind of fine. And I just do it in a Ziploc bag. It's just easier. Then you don't have any cleanup. And then I put those in there along with, well, I missed a couple. Let me just take those, break those up. With some melted butter. This is going to be our streusel topping. Stir that all together. And it'll caramelize in the oven, and oh, it's so good. This also makes muffins. If you don't want to make a cake, you could make this in muffins. Of course, it will bake a lot less time. And you could, you know, there's a lot to it, so you probably would want to use the big muffin tins, not the mini ones, or even the jumbo ones if you've got those. All right, stir that up. Then we're going to take, we're starting this easy. This is a boxed cinnamon streusel cake mix that you buy in the stores. It's just simple. Whatever ingredients the back of the box calls for. Mine calls for a little bit of vegetable oil, some water, and an egg. I'm going to beat my egg up. And I'm just, you know, as they say on YouTube, not sponsored, but this is the best little whisk. If you know anybody that sells that Rada, a lot of schools will do that. The Rada whisks are fabulous. I love them. So you want to add your 1 egg, because that's what my box called for. Stir that together, not using the whisk, because it gets caught in the little coils. Don't ask me why I did that. I did. Stir that together, and then I'm going to add 8 ounces of sour cream. This gives it a little bit of tang, a little bit more richness, and it's delicious. Oh, so good. So 8 ounces of sour cream in your batter. That just use whatever back of the box ingredients call for. Some call for more than 1 egg, some call for, you know, different ingredients. So be sure you do read that, and you will need to use whatever is on the back of the box for yours. Now I'm doing mine in a 9x13 pan. Don't overbeat your batter. You just want to make sure that your dry ingredients are incorporated. And I'm going to take half of this and put it in the bottom and spread it out. Again, you can do this in a cupcake. If you're making individual cupcakes, do the same thing. Put, you know, fill your cupcake about 1/4 of the way up. Spread it out. And I know this doesn't look like much yet, but it's gonna. Spread it out to an even layer. And then take your streusel mix that comes with your cinnamon box mix, not the one we've made, that's the topping. Put your cinnamon streusel mix, all of it, over the center section of your cake. Just kind of spread it evenly so every little bit gets the streusel mix, which honestly might be my favorite part along with the topping. I just love it. And then we're going to spread the rest of our batter over top. Now I like to just kind of dollop the pieces over it and then spread it out. And it's okay if it mixes with the streusel a little bit. It's okay. Let's get all that out of there. Your oven should be preheated to 350. Okay. And then we're going to use our spatula or a spoon, either one, whatever. I think I'll just use the spoon, a little smaller, and spread that out over top of the streusel. And again, if it mixes with it and you get some of that on, it's okay. It's not a problem. Okay. All righty. Then we're going to take our streusel mix that we made. We're going to sprinkle this over top. And then we're going to bake this for about, we'll test it at 30 minutes, and we will see if it's ready to go or not. This with a cup of coffee, Of course, obviously this could be dessert too, but I just sometimes, I don't all the time, but sometimes there are just certain sweet dishes that I love to have for breakfast. And this is actually one of them. So let's get this in a 350-degree oven. I'm going to put it in the middle here. For about 30, 35 minutes or so until, I'll show you how to test it in just a minute. I'm going to clean up my mess. When I come back, we're going to make a delicious orange biscuit bake. I'll be back in just a minute. All righty, now our coffee cake, our streusel coffee cake is in the oven, and we're going to make an orange biscuit bubbly bake, and it's really good. You will need a bundt pan and some canned, I like the smaller biscuits that come like this. There's 5 in a thing. I've got 4 of them. I don't know how many. Usually it's about 20, but we'll see. But I've got some sugar here and an orange here. And I'm going to zest this orange. I'm going to zest it all because the zest has so much flavor. It really does. It's got all of the oils, flavors of the orange. You don't want to go past that point. You don't want to go down to the white part. A lot of people find that pithy, as they call it. You know, I got to tell a little story. When I was little, my mama, I was born in Baltimore, and this happened in Baltimore. Mama would peel an orange, because I love oranges, and she would peel it, you know, take the peel off to eat the orange, and then she would peel the little white part off for me, peel the outside off. I would eat the pithy part. To this day, I do that. When I eat this orange, I will eat the white part. I don't know why I do that. I just love it. I don't know why, but I like bitter flavors. Maybe that's it. This smells so good. I so wish you could smell that zest just has so much. Just tap your little microplane for your, on the board to get all that off of there, and then scoop all that zest and put it in the sugar and stir it all together. I just like to get in there with my fingers and separate the clumps because the zest is wet. But you want that orange flavor just distribute it all throughout that sugar. And you've made an orange flavored sugar that is really good. And you could do that with lime, you could do it with lemon, you could do it with anything and make your flavored sugars. I have here some orange juice and some melted butter. Just making my little assembly line. Stir that together. And let me show you what I'm going to do here. Got my Christmas mug with my coffee in it. I'm a big coffee drinker, in case you didn't know that about me. So what you want to do is take one of your biscuits, dip it down in your orange juice mixture, and then dip it into the sugar mixture. And then we're going to line them up. I'll show you when I get some of them in there. We're lining them up like this inside the fluted bundt pan. If you have like a tube pan that you bake angel food cake in, it's good like that. You could use that. You really could bake these, you know, flat on a baking sheet, but it's just, you know, we kind of want them to be together where you got to pull them apart. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, I'll show you how the bundt pan looks at the end. Oh, I wish that you could smell this orange. You know, citrus is in season in the wintertime. That's citrus season. And there's a particular time of year that fruits and vegetables, for that matter, but in this case I'm talking about fruit, they just taste better. Yeah, you can get oranges year-round, but they are not as good as oranges that are in season. They just don't taste the same. They travel, in some cases, thousands of miles, and they're just not as good. But when you can get fresh, in-season oranges, you are in for a treat. There's one particular breed, if you will, of oranges called heirloom oranges that I find not usually till about January, sometimes February. That, let me just tell you, when I find those heirloom oranges, I can eat a bag of those in 2 days' time. They are the best orange that I've ever tasted. I think I'm going to use all 20 biscuits. So we've got 20 biscuits, and we're just coating them with our melted butter and orange juice. And if you wanted to make these, you know, any other flavor of zest in here, you absolutely could. You do whatever you want to do. They need to bake same temperature. You can do them at 350, 375 as our coffee cake. And it really just, tastes so good. Well, yeah, let's put the other one in there. Why not? We've got it. They're delicious. They need to bake for like 30 minutes till the biscuits are done. The reason they bake longer is because they're not in a single layer. You know, biscuits usually cook in no time, but these are going to be pressed together, so it takes them a little longer to cook, but so worth it. All right, we've got to kind of press them together, and then I'll show you what I'm doing here. All my sugar mixture has ended up in my orange juice because I'm doing the thing that you're not supposed to do in cooking, and that's you to have one dry hand and one wet hand. And I failed to do that. So let me just get these in there. Got a lot of sugar in my orange juice mixture. Get all of that sugar used. They're pressing up against the others, so it's okay. About out of sugar mixture. This is my last one. Coat that with all that. And then Press that in there. If you want to pour just a tiny bit, I wouldn't use it all probably, but just a little bit of that, any leftover orange juice. And as you see, we've just pressed those all in there in a ring, and we're going to pop that in the oven at 350 degrees with our coffee cake, and it takes about 30 minutes to bake. And then if you wanted to make a glaze for it, you know, powdered sugar and milk, I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But pop this in the oven, clean up my mess. When I come back, we're going to do our third breakfast dish, which is an oven-baked pancake. I'll be back in just a minute. Alrighty, welcome back. And as is the case most of the time when I am cooking, my children or my husband are in the kitchen eating the ingredients. Austin discovered some extra bacon right over there, so he's decided to come and eat bacon. So you can have some bacon while we get started. So he's gonna nibble on the bacon while I get started on the pancake. Now, I've got my oven preheated. Now this one actually bakes at 425 degrees. So if you don't have double ovens, then you will need to wait till the other is done and then take that out. But in this, we're making a oven maple pancake that is just, it's more of a savory dish instead of the sweet like the coffee cake and the orange ring. This is more savory. So I have here a cup and a half of just a prepared baking mix, you know, the type that we buy in the store. And I've got about half a cup of cheddar cheese mixed with that. I'm going to add some milk and some maple syrup, or pancake syrup. If you don't have maple syrup, it's fine. Either one will work. And a couple of eggs that I've lightly beaten. And we're going to mix this all together. Don't over mix your batter. I get asked quite often, why are my pancakes so tough? Why are my waffle mixes so tough? And it is because you've overbeaten it. Pancakes and waffles should have lumps in the batter. If you stir this to where there's absolutely no lumps left, you're going to have a tough, tough pancake. So you just want to make sure that all the flour is incorporated. That's perfect. I have a 9 by 13 inch pan here that I'm going to pour this into. I have sprayed this with non-stick baking spray, which I use all the time. I love the non-stick baking spray. It has flour in it, so there's a difference in the non-stick cooking spray and the non-stick baking spray. The baking one has some flour in it. All right, I'm going to level that out. All right, it's going to go in a 425 degree oven for about 10 minutes, and then I'll show you how to finish up this pancake. All righty, now it's been about 10 minutes. I just took our pancake out of the oven. And what I'm going to do, I've already pre-cooked some bacon. And I'm just going to sprinkle this over top. This is about 5 slices or so of bacon. My favorite flavor combination for breakfast is pancakes and bacon. I just think with maple syrup. To me, there's just absolutely no better flavor combination. I'm also going to top this with just a little tiny bit more cheese, a little bit of cheddar. This is a savory dish. This is not meant to be sweet like regular pancakes. All right, we're going to pop this back in the oven. I'm just going to pop this in the oven for about 2 minutes. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, everything will be done. I'll be back in just a minute. All righty, we are back, and I just want to show you what we've got. Now, here is our orange biscuit bake thing. This needs to cool for about 2 minutes once you take it out of the oven, and then I'll show you how to invert it onto the plate here for just in a second. This is our coffee cake, which I have already cut a piece because I'm going to have that with my coffee. And then here is our delicious savory baked maple flavored pancake that just came out of the oven. And here's our delicious coffee cake. The way that you can tell, well, I left them over here. Hang on 1 second. The way that you can tell if something is cooked through is to take a toothpick and insert it in the center of whatever you're baking. And then if it comes out clear, maybe just crumbs clinging to it is fine, then you know it's done. But if it's wet, you know it's not done. Okay, just in the center. Both of those are perfectly done. Now, this has been cooling for a couple of minutes. Let's hope and pray it comes out the way it's supposed to, because what you need to do is take your platter, invert it upside down. Careful. And pray it comes out, and it did. And there is your delicious orange bubble ring biscuit bake. And oh, that is so good. That's boiling hot. I would garnish that. Let me grab an orange out of here. I have some extra oranges because that is something I always have at my house because I love oranges. And I would just cut some orange slices or wedges. What do we want to do? Let's cut it in half and then cut some little slices. That way everybody knows that it's orange flavored. And then just kind of, just put your little garnishes, or you could take the little segments out and drizzle them on top, whatever you wanted to do. But you would want to let everybody know that that's oranges, because believe me, there are those that have orange allergies. I have a friend, my best friend actually, is allergic to oranges. So if she were coming, I would for sure want her to know that had oranges in it. So you get the point. You could decorate it however you wanted to, just to let people know that does contain orange. That's our wonderful little bake. Now here's our coffee cake, and I just want to show you. That is so moist and delicious. So good. With a cup of coffee, you just can't go wrong. So on Christmas morning, this is a great way to have some different things for whoever your guests are, family or guests, on Christmas morning. I would serve this with maybe a fruit salad or some sausage patties, or maybe some extra cooked bacon. You could have anything you wanted, you know, some pastries, some croissants, whatever kind of little buffet that you wanted to have. But this is a great, great, great way to have a wonderful, relaxed Christmas morning, because, you know, that's a time that typically we're just, you know, we're not in all the big hurry. And if you celebrate Christmas with presents, you know, the kids are going to want to all open up their presents. This way, you can have a leisurely feast while Christmas morning and is going on, and you can relax. And it's just a wonderful alternative to just your standard breakfast foods, whatever that may be. Some quick and easy things for you to cook. And of course, any day of the week would be delicious. This would be delicious. It doesn't have to be Christmas morning. I just wanted to show you some ideas for Christmas morning. From all of us here at Living Faith Television and all of the behind the scenes staff that you never see, we want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. Remember the reason for the season. It is about the birth of Jesus Christ, and we celebrate His birth and His coming to be our Lord and Savior. And He was born in a manger on that beautiful Christmas morning, as we celebrate on Christmas morning. So from all of us to all of you, we want to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas. And I will see you next time on